Hello, everyone. Welcome to the shift update for March 2025. Hope you all are doing well. Things have been moving along pretty good. With previous updates, I seemed to move really fast at the beginning, trying to do some things to slow myself down, to allow things to flow a little bit more easily. So since it's in the afternoon, it's not in the morning like I usually do these videos, decided to go ahead and drink a little beer here. Cheers to you all, wherever you are. So, one of the things regarding these shift updates, if you haven't seen it before, this relates to the changing times for which we are living in. Nearly everything on this earth is going through a shift. Even the people that think they're not going through different levels of energetic shifts or consciousness shifts are going through shifts. Every single thing on this planet is changing. There's no getting around it. You don't have to believe in it for it to be happening. It's happening to everyone and everything on Earth. So, you don't have to get serious about the scenario. We don't have to be serious. We don't have to be fearful about the scenario that's changing and all these changes taking place on the planet. But at the same time, it's best to have awareness about the changes, to the awareness without fear. Therefore, we're able to relax. When a lot of times when there's all these unknowns, the ego starts to worry or get drawn out and starts processing a lot of information. So therefore, sometimes it's good to have information. So therefore, the ego can relax. And so, in the past months, I've shared a lot of information regarding the acceleration that we're going through, the acceleration of changes, how so much related to the time, our perception of time is changing, in which I'm going to get in a little bit further on in this video. I'm going to share some more information regarding the perception of time changing. But, in the past months, I've gotten into, our perception of, what God is, what source is, our limitations that we're imposing because of our beliefs. We're creating our own restrictions from these beliefs and these perceptions, and the structures that we're holding on to. It essentially is limiting the expansion and awareness of our consciousness. These energetic shifts that are taking place are sort of like choices. These energetic waves of energy that are coming through that are assisting with the transformation on the planet, the actual planet, the energetics of the planet are changing. And so as individuals, everyone has the choice to align with these changing energies and this changing time. It's a choice. Of course, if you are fearful of these changes and you try to hold on, resistance and so on, of course, you're creating your own separation from change itself. So it's a matter of, making choices to align yourself, to be willing to change, to be open to change, to be allowing change to happen within yourself. This essentially allows you to expand your awareness, to become aware of things that you were not aware of before. And so that's the reason why I share these shift updates, is to provide information so people can actually use the tools or some of the information to, see what observe your own life and the different things that you have going on within the levels of your own consciousness, and see where these restrictions that you're holding on to and allow them to release. So therefore you are existing and living much more in a balanced state of consciousness. And that's really what we're moving into. And all of this, all these shifts that, I described, the shift update and so on, and all of this stuff that's going on is all about us moving more into a balanced state of being, more into wholeness. There's different ways to describe this, but really it's about us moving into more of a balanced state. Some people like say, well, I'm already balanced. I'm already in tune and everything else. But that's majority of the time, that is straight up ego talking. The 3D reality is nothing but an imbalanced level of existence. It's nothing but a full dualistic battle of survival in a lot of different ways. And, there's always a dualistic perception, dualistic battling going on in all kinds of things, in all kinds of ways within our life. And so when I'm talking about moving more into a balanced state, it's a matter of us moving beyond this dualistic game that we have agreed to play in. And again, yes, you made the choice to come here. You made the choice to live the life that you're living. We all made this choice, whether you believe it or not. Again, you don't have to believe it for it to exist. So, some intro stuff before we get into all these different topics for this month's Shift Update. Got the 2-day New Paradigm Masterclass coming up in August 2nd and 3rd. And I've mentioned this in the past months. Shift Updates. These classes assist with change in itself. They are the best, most encompassing experiences that are available for humans to align with the shifts that are taking place on the planet. There are all kinds of different techniques that you can do to, of course, align yourself with more change, more a peaceful mind, like meditation, different things to do. But when you get down to really the root of what causes this, or what are the underlying causes of why we do what we do? Where are all these programs and these patterns coming from? And how do I change and reprogram these patterns within my levels of my being? It takes not only the willingness of our consciousness to make these changes, but it also assists if we have the energy within us and flowing through us that allows this change to take place more easily. And that is what the New Paradigm Masterclasses essentially provide. They assist you in connecting with the energies of transformation. And these energies allow, when you connect and allow and truly use these energies within yourself to heal yourself from past traumas, heal yourself from fear and the different fears that we hold on to, and the perceptions of fear of the unknown and all kinds of other stuff. I could go on talking about that part for a long, long time. The main thing is they are opportunities. They're not belief systems. The New Paradigm Masterclasses are not belief systems. They are opportunities to assist you in change, and that's it. There are opportunities to assist you in change. So if you want some more information regarding that, you can check out my website. And the link for that is below. The other thing is I do, for those of you that don't know, I do offer coaching. It's a private coaching that is done remotely. We can do it through video or through just on the phone to assist with the challenges and or things that you have going on in your life that you would like assistance with working through. Connecting to a greater degree with your authentic self, your eternal level of your being. Basically, that is what that coaching service essentially is. If you have repetitive patterns coming up that you would like some assistance and suggestions on how to work through them, techniques and so on, again, that's an example of what I can assist you with. And again, that information's on the website. All right. So, getting into the info. The first topic. Are you happy on the inside? A lot of times we might ask ourselves, or we might be working towards a place of happiness. The majority of the population, because of the ego, the way our egos operate, the ego is always looking outside the self. Looking outside the self for something that will bring fulfillment on the inside. That will bring happiness on the inside, may bring more love to the inside. But there's nothing on the outside of us that essentially brings us into greater wholeness or fulfillment, greater or more than our own connection with our own selves. Loving ourselves without conditions and working through the patterns that we are giving our power away to outside of ourselves. The more that we step into our power, that means that we are not looking outside of ourselves for things to fulfill us any longer. And as I mentioned at the beginning about us moving into a balanced state, if we're continually looking outside of ourselves for things to fulfill us, therefore, we're not really in a balanced state. That's what that means about living in a dualistic reality. So, the biggest thing is, you might have had somebody ask you not very many people ask this to each other, but are you happy? A lot of people's mind might go right away when they're asked that question. Well, what do I have around me that makes me happy? I might have, I have food on the table to eat. That makes me happy. I have my family around me. Again, that makes me happy. I have the money in order to drive a car, to have a car, to be able to go where I need to go. Again, that could be the perception of happiness because of these things. Again, but inner happiness is a little bit different. It's about having that happiness within ourselves to where we are content. We are happy. We're overflowing with joy just from having this existence. Just from having the experience of physical life. So this inner happiness that I'm describing here is not something that a lot of times, it doesn't happen really overnight. A lot of times we have to release these perceptions of, again, looking outside ourselves for happiness. And once we let go of looking outside the self, then we're able to build more and more happiness within ourselves. We are that joy. We are that happiness in a living state without necessarily the outer things that we might view that assist us with being happy. So you might want to ask yourself, really just observe when you ask yourself this question. Am I happy on the inside? If the question is, if you really don't know 100% and you're feeling like I'm not really 100% happy with myself, or, say if you are trying to change a pattern, trying to get more healthy, or something that you have been trying to change for a long time, but you haven't really moved through it. So therefore, you're looking back on yourself and saying, I really wish I would make this change. I really wish I would do this or that for myself. Again, these are things that we're posing against ourselves. So, we have the choice to basically master whatever that is that we're trying to move through, to move beyond that. Then, therefore, we can make the choice to say, if we wish to live in a happier body, if our physical body's not feeling very well, we got to do something to assist it in having a more healthy life. So, this is a multi-leveled topic that could be talked about for a long time. The main thing is I want to just bring it up for you to ask yourself from time to time to observe your inner happiness, to observe your inner joy, to feel the energy of that within your physical body, not just a mental projection of happiness or a mental projection of joy, but actually to feel that energy, to be able to experience life and be able to walk down the street or smell the air, smell the flowers, see the trees, and so on. So just to pay attention to that, to really feel and see, it might be able to bring up some reflections within yourself that you've been pushing away. So anyway, that's one suggestion. So moving into another part of that is, what do you wish to be saved from? There's a lot of people in this reality that, even though they might be, might view themselves as new age or spiritual, non-spiritual, this or that, it doesn't really matter how, someone views themselves. But there's, going into religion, there is a lot of people that, of course, view that someone or something like Jesus or Muhammad or Allah or some being in some form is going to save them from something. So the real question, that's, again, I haven't seen anyone ask before or pose this question. Look within yourself to see if you have a part of yourself that's looking to be saved from something. And the real question is, what do you wish to be saved from? For some of the religious people, of course, their first thing would be, I need to be saved from sin or original sin or whatever else. The main thing is here is, do you were told that belief systems are not something that we are born with. Belief systems are something that we have been programmed to believe, and or that we have learned about and taken on as a belief system. So the question is, if we, as I was mentioning in previous topics here about happiness, and when we're looking outside the self for fulfillment, again, we are not going to be happy, truly happy within ourselves. We're continually looking outside of the self. So when it comes to being saved by someone or something that you view outside of yourself, again, you're viewing that you're not already full. There's coming, in order for that perception to exist, you're coming from a space of emptiness. Truly, look at it. Really think about this for a minute. If you are looking to be saved from someone or something, that means you see that you do not have the power in order to save your own self. Also, you do not have the love within yourself to be full, to be whole, to be in that balanced state of being yourself. So this whole thing about being saved is really a trap. It's been posed many, many times for a long, long, long time, thousands of years, for people essentially to give their power away outside of themselves. And through this, we continually live in a glass that is not full. We might have some inner love and we might sometimes, but again, through that perception of looking outside of the self to save me, looking outside of the self for happiness, and so on, we are essentially giving that power outside of ourselves. We're not seeing ourselves as the glass is full. It's the perception in itself which creates the lack. The perception in itself creates the separation. Those perceptions of needing to be saved actually creates the scenario of consciousness that you're in to where you feel the separation from being whole itself. When we release these perceptions and these beliefs and all this separation and so on, we essentially align ourselves with wholeness, with infinite joy, with infinite happiness, with infinite love flowing through us freely. No one needs to give us this power. No one needs to grant it to us, nor is anyone going to give us the power. Like, oh, you are now granted the ability to do this. We step into that power through making the choices to release the separation, to release all these beliefs of, oh, I'm not that powerful. I can't do that. These kind of perceptions essentially create the separation. They create the darkness. They keep us within the dualistic game, essentially. So, it's a thing to truly observe. But the biggest, moving into the next part here, the biggest spoiler alert, I'll play that again here. Trying to mix this up here. It's got a little bit of some of you might be thinking, this is so boring. I got some crickets playing there. Just trying to make this a little bit more fun here. So anyway, I'll play that one more time. Hold on. Oh, there we go. All right. So the spoiler alert is that you are already God. We are already God. All of us together. You do not need a religion to connect you with Source or God. You do not need a belief system. The majority of all of these belief systems, all these religions and everything actually creates the separation from your own God state of awareness. So it's a spoiler alert because you and we are the ones that create the separation from our own God level of consciousness. That's it. No one on any level is imposing us or restricting us from saying you cannot connect with your own God state of consciousness. It's up to us to make that connection. You do not need a religion and or a belief system in order to do that. That's the reason why I feel like, these videos, they don't feed people's egos. And that's the reason why a lot of times, this is on these videos and the responses and, all these daggone comments that some people get in these videos, there's nothing in my comments, usually. Very few people ever leave a daggone comment in any of these videos. Mainly, the way I see it is, because what I'm sharing here doesn't really relate to the majority of the population. And I am well aware of that. I'm not here just to feed people's egos. I'm here and providing this information to align yourselves with the changes that are taking place on the planet and within this universe. So, spoiler alert. There we go. It's up to us. It's up to you. We don't have to take all this super serious. We don't have to have a serious, structured belief system and or religion to align ourselves with the truth of the universe, that we are the universe. And this moves into the next part. We are each a part of the universe in itself. Even though a lot of people don't see themselves as multidimensional beings, we are multidimensional beings. You don't have to believe in it in order for you to exist as a multidimensional being, even though you, at this level, don't remember it. And it's just the process of remembrance that we're going through as we remember more of our universal self, our God self-awareness, our God self-consciousness. By stepping into our power in making and releasing all these belief systems and structures and everything else, that information flows in. But getting back to we are each part of the universe, through our multidimensionality of our beingness, we make up the universe. Basically, our multidimensional aspects of our existence is what makes up the universe. We have all kinds of connections on all different levels throughout the galaxy into the universe, through levels of our multidimensional self. So if one of you out there was all of a sudden you thought you could delete yourself from the universe, again, that it's not possible. You might be able to dissolve your energetics of your multidimensional self into the universe itself, but the energy of who you are and what you are is not going to go anywhere other than to be back into the wholeness of who we truly are on a universal level. So, everything is connected. Again, you don't have to believe in it for it to exist. Everything is connected. You can look at it from a level of string theory, quantum physics, whatever else. Those are some of the things that we are aware of here on the planet that, point to that direction on a scientific level. But, on levels of consciousness, the levels of energetics and so on, we are all connected. Every single thing is connected. We are each a part of the universe. That's the same thing as what I said in the previous topic. You are already God. So it's a matter of us truly allowing that level of comprehension to exist within us, to allow that information and an expanded awareness to exist within ourselves. So that moves us into the next topic. Fighting with yourself in the darkness. And if you really think about this, this is the example that was coming to me to describe about this. So, you know how you have these perceptions of darkness, beings of darkness. I'm not saying that they don't exist. I'm just saying the perceptions that you have on a dualistic level regarding, say, someone else sucking energy from you, for example. Feeding off your energy is another example. That's a dualistic perception. The actual perception is what allows it to happen. So, as I mentioned in the previous topic about multidimensional, we are multidimensional beings. That's the straight up truth. Even though you might not remember it right now, we are multidimensional beings. And we all have different experiences on other aspects of our being might be playing in the dualistic game. For example, we all might have aspects of our being that are in aspects of darkness. And we may feel darkness within ourselves. And therefore, through this darkness that we might be perceiving or sensing within ourselves, we then battle with that darkness that we're feeling. We're continually trying to push it away. We're continually trying to say, I wish to be healed from this darkness. And going back into the earlier topic about being saved, you're seeing that your glass is not already full. You are not already full. You're not already whole. And therefore, when we are in this space, playing within this dualistic game here, A lot of times it has to do with battling the darkness. We have this level of darkness going on. We got this level of darkness that we're battling with. We're continually trying to push away, or we might see that is draining us, or different scenarios like this. The main thing is these dualistic battles and when we're playing within the dualistic game is, as I mentioned, we are all a part of the universe. And if you truly embrace that you are a multidimensional being, exists well beyond this physical body, you start to see that really, if you are battling with darkness, you're really battling with another aspect of your own self. The more that you comprehend this and you release this battle, it's not that you're subsiding to the darkness. Again, that's what the ego would essentially do. It would essentially say, well, if I am giving up this fight, that means I am subsiding. I'm kneeling, and the darkness is so much bigger than me. And the darkness will overcome me, or I have to subside to the darkness. Again, these are coming from the levels of perception that are within duality. The reason why I'm describing this is because I have these own levels of duality within my own self, just like everyone else. The main thing is that we have other levels of our consciousness that we can perceive life through. I am choosing to see through those levels. So therefore, you can observe the other levels that are still within duality. We still play within the dualistic game until we basically start. Instead of battling, we love. We love these other levels of aspects of our being that are in darkness. We might have some kind of crazy ass, multidimensional reptilian being causing all kind of havoc in the galaxy that is a shape-shifting, freaking wild darkness being, okay? There might be an aspect of our multidimensional self. The main thing is it's just an aspect of your existence, our existence. We then make the choice to say, that's a form of life. It's an expression that we chose to experience from a universal level. So in order for this level, from a physical level, to move beyond the dualistic game of battling with that being that we perceive as dark, the easiest way to move and do that I can see is to love without condition that being, which essentially is another aspect of, our own existence, our own wholeness. So to love, just love without conditions. The more that you do that, the more that your awareness and so on, your energetics move more into more wholeness, more into the full glass, more into a balanced state of consciousness, a balanced state of energetics. So, again, when you catch yourself fighting with the darkness, is to see that is just another aspect of your own being. Love that being or whatever you're sensing or feeling into wholeness. Love the perception of that being into wholeness. It's not that you're trying to impose change on that other being. You are changing your perception of that other being. Just as you might view, say, someone out there that drains your energy, that you're giving them the power to drain your energy from the perception alone. So again, you have the choice to choose love. Just love, even though it might be a very annoying, very toxic person that you might view that drains your energy. Again, don't give them the power to drain your energy. Stand in your power. See that you are whole. See that you are infinite. There's no lack of energy flowing. The perception of lack actually creates the lack. So there we go. That was a good one. Whoa, that was the wrong damn thing there. There we go. There we go. Okay. Moving into the next one here. The perception of time changing. This is sort of like something that has been evolving. I wanted to share my own experience regarding this. The perception of linear time for which I used to perceive was horizontal. From the time I was born to the time that I'm currently, my physical life. And it was more of a horizontal view. For me personally, I now view, for the most part, time as vertical. Essentially, everything is stacked upon its own self instead of a linear begin point, end point. Everything is more continuous on a vertical perception. Multidimensional existence essentially stacked upon itself or myself. It's something that's been changing over the last few months, but now it's getting clearer and clearer. And so for you all out there, again, you can play with this within your own levels of perceptions to release the linear time perspective. Because as these energetics continue to change, and I think I've mentioned this in past months, our perception of time is changing. The time essentially is continuous. Everything is happening here now. A lot of people, you out there probably have heard of that, stated by a lot of different people. The main thing is that all of our lifetimes are happening here now. Everything is happening at the same time. The more we align ourselves in the now moment, essentially we are existing, everything is happening. Like I think last month or the month before that, I was talking about how the feeling, perception of more happening at once. I feel like the perception of time like we used to experience is dissolving. We're moving into a space of continuous time where everything basically and all levels of our multidimensional existence essentially, where we can tune in and feel and sense and get to know these other levels all at the same time. It's a lot more than our mental mind can really process at the same time while doing 3D essential life, driving down the road, talking to people, doing different tasks and so on. But it's a matter of knowingness. It's a matter of us integrating more of that knowingness, and through that our perception continually evolves and changes and expands. So this moves us into the next part of a life review. And I think this is something else that I've mentioned in a previous month also. But it's something that you all can, again, do in meditation or through just observation. Is that for those of you that might not have heard of a life review before, to say if you left your physical body and you might view like the physical body died and you moved into a level and you go through a life review, which from what I'm getting is doesn't necessarily happen all the time, but it happens the majority of the time. So we go through a life review of everything that we experienced in life, in, say, our physical life, and all the things that we might have not even remembered. But all these different experiences, all these different sharings, and all these different things combined within a short period of time, like a 2-minute video clip that we experience to the fullness of all of the emotion, all of the joy, all of the happiness, all of the craziness, all of the trauma, all within this life view, within this short period of time. Again, and through that, we then make the choice to say, I wish to, if there's something that we truly didn't heal or we truly didn't comprehend within that life, then we make the choice to say, I wish to learn more about this or that, or the reason why I did not make this choice or that choice, and so on. So a life review is something that essentially we do and we go through after, physical life. And therefore, we might carry over some of the challenges or things that we didn't process in that life over into another life. So anyway, the main thing is that we don't have to, and this is the reason why I'm bringing this up, is that we don't have to wait to die to do a life review. You could do the life review right now. Right here, right now, you can do a life review. Just as I mentioned, a life review goes all the way back to the time your physical body was born and all of the experiences that you had. So you can actually do this in a meditation. Go all the way back to when you were born. Try to sense, and you ask the assistance of your I Am Presence for assistance. Really feel, those first 5 years. I think I even did a meditation on this. Sometime a year or so ago. But anyway, feel those first 5 years, if there was any trauma, is there any things that really stood out to you during those first 5 years? Then feel the next 5 years, if there's anything that really stands out to you. Ask to see the things that might be causing the patterns that you're living through now. Go through each 5-year and five-year increments of your life, really feeling out those scenarios. If there's things that happen during those periods of time that you have pushed away, that might have been traumatic experiences with family members that you are no longer alive, that you didn't make peace with or something, or that a friend or a partner that you had a traumatic experience with that you pushed away, that you're still holding within yourself, that darkness from that time period. Again, heal those time periods now. You can go through your whole life experience and have that life review now and feel out where, and you can go through it again, back through it. Back and, the more you do it, what I've found is that you're able to go through it that much faster to where you can actually feel and sense your whole life review within a period of seconds. and sense and feel the totality of all of that energy that was processed and experienced within a matter of seconds. It's a it's a wild experience. I've been doing this unconsciously, and a lot of people have been doing this unconsciously for many, many years. You think about all those repetitive patterns that come up from time to time. I thought I worked through this already, but obviously you didn't. There were still things there that needed processing, that needed to be healed, that needed to be truly observed without conditions, to be observed with compassion, to be observed and forgiven. Those are the kinds of things that when you're looking through your life review, that we can make choices, just as you would be making choices if you were already left the body and you were observing your whole life. At that time, you would be making choices of what you're going to do, because we continue on. And so, it's a matter of you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait until you die to truly come to terms with every single thing that you experienced in this life. The more that you do this, as I mentioned in the first topic, are you truly happy? Are you happy within yourself? When you can feel the totality and you've forgiven and you come to terms with the things that you've experienced in your life, and you see that wholeness. You see how it all fits together. You see the reasons why you had the challenges you had. And the challenges that are right in your face right now, you have these choices. We all have the choice to process, to face, and deal with right now. Because as these coming years continue and the energetics continue to evolve here on the planet, in some ways it might be easier to process all this, but in some ways it might be more challenging. So why wait? The main thing is, why wait? Do it now. Do I hear some of you freaking falling asleep out there? Are you freaking? They're freaking crickets. So the main thing is, don't wait. Become more one with yourself now. So that moves us into the next topic, the choice to move into a balanced state. And really, every single thing that I have shared so far in this month's update goes into this. These are all choices to move into a balanced state. There's, as it goes into the religious part that I was saying about so many people looking outside of themselves for someone or something to save them. Really, they're saving them to save themselves from their own selves, really. It's we move into more of this balanced state by letting go of, which I've already stated, by letting go of the separation. It's really, even though it's much more challenging than it is easy. I'm not saying any of this is easy. No one had said that any of this is easy. The main thing is, this is the process that I have seen that is the easiest way to move through it. So, and this goes into the next part, is that, every single thing that I have shared and I share in these monthly updates, a lot of it is from my own experiences of my own personal transformation. The information that has flowed in through my own integration and connection that I have with my own I am presence, my own aha moments and realizations that I have gone through. A lot of this is tied into my lifetimes, my own multidimensional self. As I've mentioned in previous updates, this is just who I am. This is what I do. I've done this under lifetimes. I have assisted and, gone through this process many, many times. So it's a matter of the reason why I share this stuff is to assist you all. And as you all out there, in a way, or I see as other aspects of my own self, which is all of us together are moving more into a balanced state of beingness. We're moving into more wholeness. We're moving out of the dualistic game. So we can move through it and we can fight with it. We can fight and have resistance. Again, there's nothing bad about that if that's what you wish to do, or say a family member wishes to do. I am not going to view that person or you or whoever as bad or lesser than or anything. The main thing is it's just a choice. The only thing that really separates us is our perceptions, the beliefs, and energetic vibration. That's really the only thing that really separates us in this universal game, that we are living through, is the things that we have created to play this game of separation. We're moving back into wholeness. Now we've extended out as far as we can possibly go and defragmented ourselves into little tiny pieces. Now all of that is coming back into wholeness. All the fragmented pieces are moving and joining back into like this crystalline state. So, even though I talk about and I share all these things, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. There are periods of time that I look at myself and the amount of drama or challenges that I'm going through in my physical life, and I'm like, I straight up say to myself and I say to the universe, how am I like, I don't even know what the heck the word is there. How am I qualified? How am I qualified to even speak and talk about this stuff? Because I am going through so much craziness myself. I'm going through so much craziness and shit on, like, some days are like, what in the hell is going on? And from those days, things clear. They clear out. And then I have more clarity about the scenario or whatever happens. And I'm in a much more balanced state then. And then through these experiences, I'm like, you know what? Now I understand why. I want to be able to share this information to assist others to basically are experiencing the same daggone thing that I am experiencing. So that's the reason why I do these videos. Even though there's a lot of out there in this collective world regarding the stuff I do share. All these damn crickets. I love crickets, by the way. But, it's a lot of people might not align with what I'm sharing. And that's okay. I am totally okay with that. The main thing is I'm putting it out. Whoever it aligns with, aligns with. And, going into this, all I ask from, everyone that is still out there listening to this right now is, all I ask in return, is really, I'm not expecting anything in return, is to assist in this information getting out to more people. So if any one of you could share it in your own channels, in your own networks, social media, like the videos, the video actually, the more likes it seems that YouTube then shares the video with other people more often. So likes are actually assist with the video being shared. It's not just recognition. It's always nice to see that actually people do connect with it. There's not 100% of the daggone population is like this. Sometimes I do feel like I'm like looking around in this world and damn, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know if anybody's aligning with what the hell I'm saying, because, I don't get a lot of feedback from these daggone videos. But again, it is what it is. I'm going to continue to put them out. I'm going to continue to do what I can with the resources I have, the time that I have, and I'm going to continue to share. So, if you all want to post some comments, post questions, I'm open to anything that you have to ask or whatever else. Share the video with other people, as I mentioned. If you want information regarding the coaching or upcoming classes, it's on the website, joe-weaver.com. We have so many changes going on in this world right now. As I mentioned in last month's video, it can be overwhelming. If we get caught up in, say, the news or the other things, it's one thing to be aware of the changes we have going on. It's another thing if it becomes energetically overwhelming. And if it starts to stress us out, or we start moving into a worried or fearful state of consciousness or energetics, that is not beneficial. It is not beneficial for you. It's not going to assist anyone or anything if you're living in a state of worry, hate, anger, fear, resentment, jealousy. You're not assisting anyone or anything. You're essentially living in that darkness that you are choosing to create. There's no one imposing that darkness upon you. We all have the choice to save ourselves from that darkness. Step into your power, my friends. Cheers. Cheers to you all. I sort of like this drinking beer during these videos. I was add on to this. For all of you to think that drinking this beer is somehow not aligned in the energetics of spiritual alignment or whatever. Again, that's judgment, straight up ego. Straight up ego. I don't claim to be I'm not a spiritual teacher. I don't perceive myself as a spiritual teacher. I'll just say that. I've never claimed to be one, even though some people point that I am. What I see myself as is someone that just speaks and shares what is real. What is real beyond this crazy ass illusion that we are been living within and this dualistic separation. Everything is one. Everything is connected. We are all love. We are all the universe, and we are all have an aspect of our beingness that is God itself. So, I don't see that as spiritual. I don't see it as something that is it's tied to religion or a belief system. I see it as the real fact of who we truly are. So, I think that's it, my friends. We went a little bit over an hour. I think it all flowed pretty well. Till next time, my friends. Shambhala on to the whole of the planet, on all levels, all beings in all forms. Shambhala and Mahatma on. Peace out, my friends.